Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amira and I post Animal Crossing videos. I also post Animal Crossing content over on Instagram, so I will have all of that stuff linked down below. Today I'm going to be touring my top 10 favorite Happy Home Paradise builds that I have done. I love this DLC so much and I have done a lot of homes over here, and so I figured I would kind of show off my 10 favorite ones that I have done in no particular order. So let's jump right into the first one. All right, here we are at stop number 1. This is a build that I did for Julia. You can kind of see her back there hanging out. This is a build that I titled Serene Getaway. It was inspired by a video that I had watched by Lex Play. She toured an island that was blue and white and very elegant core, and I had never done a build that was strictly color based, like color theme based. And I absolutely loved the video that I watched, and it was so inspiring to me. So I made my way over here and I created this home with this pretty little yard for Julia. I really like the way that it came out. It's very calm. I feel like it would smell like lavender if you showed up here in person. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot simpler when it comes to the landscaping than I normally do. I normally go very heavy on the weeds and the wheat fields and just make it look very overgrown, but I tried to make it just feel very calm. I wanted it to feel like when you came to this home, you were just breathing a very big breath of fresh air. So let's head inside. All right, so here we are inside. Very similar theme as I had going outside. Still wanted to keep with the blue and white and very simple and elegant. Again, I wanted it to feel like when you walked in here, it smelled good, very clean. I wanted it to feel like kind of this like sigh of relief, this like sanctuary of peace. And I think I achieved that pretty well. The blue and white thing is something that I had never done before. And honestly, I haven't really done since. It was just this one-time deal for me. And I really enjoyed doing a build that was color-based. It made the decorating process a lot easier than I thought it would because my options were smaller. Instead of this giant catalog, I knew that I wanted to go for things with a specific color. So I really enjoyed building like this, and I think I would like to do more color theme based builds in the future. I haven't really done another one, but this one I really had a lot of fun with, and so I think I might do it again. Alrighty, on to build number 2. And here we are at Poppy's home. As you can see, I made this a very safari-like house. I'm not really sure what inspired me to do this. I have never built on this lot before, and I haven't built on it since. I don't know if I saw a video or something, but I just really wanted to make something that looked like it was on a safari. I had never used these funky looking trees. Again, I haven't used them since. But for whatever reason, this day I was really feeling like doing something completely outside of my comfort zone. So that's what this is. On the inside, you'll kind of see, I wanted it to feel like this is an Airbnb or a home that you can rent if you're going on a safari somewhere. And so that's why I have the little sign out there like, hey, this is where you're staying. There's a spot to eat breakfast. There's a little bench, maybe if you're waiting for like a cab to come pick you up or something like that. Very natural, but I wanted it to feel like this is where you might stay if you were going on a safari. So let's head inside. Alrighty, as you can see on the inside, I still kept going with that almost hotel-like theme in here with the 2 beds and the the nightstands with the lamps and the dresser in the middle with the phone. I really wanted it to feel like someone was hosting you and you're going on this exotic trip. And so I thought I would bring that in with the wooden chests there and the globe. Yeah, I just wanted it to feel super exotic, but also calm at the same time. And I feel like I achieved that. This, like I said before, is something that was super outside my comfort zone. I never decorate like this, but I had so much fun. This was the build that started getting me into very specific theme builds. Before this, I was really kind of on the cozy cottage sort of train. Every home I did was very like, I'll do a cozy home for this person. Well, how would they decorate their house? And then I did this one, and it like unlocked this love for building like theme specific builds. And so a lot of the builds that you'll see after this are very theme specific, and I just have so much fun with that. My island that I have currently is just very natural, and then I started to grow this love for themes during the happy home process. And so my next island, I think, will have a very specific theme, and I am so excited to decorate an entire island like that. Alrighty, let's go to stop number 3. Here we are at spot number 3. We are at Diana's home. This is my most recent Happy Home Paradise build that I've done, and I've shared a few pictures of it over on Instagram, but I am so proud of this one. I believe the prompt that she had was a place to meditate, and I kind of ran with that. It's very rare that I stick with the required items that they give me. Usually I like to just select, I have ideas and kind of go with my own sort of theme, but I wanted to run with the meditation thing, and I decided to give her her own yoga studio. So outside I have a few spots to do some yoga out on the docks. Still pretty overgrown, but very calming and natural. I love that deer scare object. I think it's so zen. I love when you stunt the bamboo trees like this. I, for the longest time, didn't realize that that's what those were when I would see them on people's islands. And then I was like, oh my gosh, those are just bamboo trees, but they've been stunted. And I just think they're so pretty. I used the just plain dirt path and then added some custom codes on top. And we are in the 5 a.m. lighting. So just some sunrise yoga for Diana. So let's head inside and check out the studio. Alrighty, here we are inside Diana's yoga studio. I love it in here so much. I think it came together so beautifully. I turned the lighting down and I colored it to be this like dark blue. I have candles. There are some towels back there. I love using the partition walls and then an accent wall back there to make it look like there's a little sort of nook with different wallpaper. I have a few yoga mats on the floor. One of them, obviously the green one, is the instructors, and so there's a speaker up there with a ball. On this side there's a counter with some incense just to make it smell nice and zen. Some benches where I like to think people who come to the class come to either take their shoes off or put some stuff away in their bags. And then on the left here we have a spot for some water bottles. So just a very simple, calming, zen place to do some yoga. And I just absolutely love the way that it turned out. And here we are at Stitch's home. This is one that I decided to decorate as a preschool. I don't believe I've shared this, but I am a teacher. That is my full-time job. And so the school facility was one of my favorites to decorate. And I wanted to do a preschool. When I did my student teaching, I was in a preschool classroom. And I don't really know why I wanted to do this. I think it was maybe the items he wanted me to use. I'm not 100% sure. But once I started, I kind of couldn't really stop. And so the exterior here, I have a playground, some bikes for them to use. Just kind of taking stuff from my own personal experience with preschool and adding it into this build. I love the color of the building with the welcome sign. I kept it very kidcore with the colors. The primary color is red, blue, and yellow. The little library up front. I just think it's so adorable, and I really like the way the outside turned out. So let's head inside. All right, inside here we can take a look at the actual classroom that I built. Again, taking experience that I've had with preschool in real life. I wanted to keep all of the toys over in one area, so that's the play area. I used the blue colorway of the stove. I wanted it to look like a toy kitchen. So that's where the kids play. There's a bulletin board. This is what I would like to say is the learning space. So any crafts or lessons that they do happen over here. They're growing some plants on the counter back there. There are the lockers where the kids store all of their personal belongings. And then the little reading corner with some books that are accessible to them at their height. In the preschool classroom I was in, my cooperating teacher had a bookshelf that looked almost exactly like this, and she would switch out the books that were on the shelves every single day. And I don't know, I had a lot of fun with this. It came together really easily for me. It made me miss teaching preschool. I just think it's so cute and fun. So yeah. All right, home number 5 belongs to Ike. I created something that I wanted to resemble like a visitor center that you might see if you're on a road trip. I believe I created this pretty soon after I got back from a road trip. If you've ever stopped at one of these, they're like kind of off the side of the highway, lots of restrooms and like vending machines, maybe some information about the state or area that you're in. So that's kind of what I wanted to make here. There's the campsite sign, the swinging bench, a picnic table, place to park bikes. I kind of wanted it to be a visitor center, but also maybe that was in the middle of like a national park. So that's why I have the forest sign heading outwards. It'll kind of make more sense once we head inside, but just very natural, kind of in the middle of the forest. But I titled this one Visitor Center. All right, so we can kind of see that visitor center theme more inside here. We have this desk in the middle where someone will do some work. Lots of information about whatever park you're at on the sides here with some models and bulletin boards and pamphlets, a vending machine, just some places to rest. I don't know. Some pictures of the local fish that you might catch in the area. Again, I just wanted it to be like, this is where you might find out about all the information of the current place that you're in. There's also an upstairs. It's pretty rare that I add an upstairs, but I guess I was feeling ambitious this day and I gave him a little upstairs. So let's head up there. So this is where I gave him his own little bedroom because this is also where he sleeps and stays. I gave him the log bed with the bear pattern. Let's see. Oh, I actually think there might have been patterns on those stools, but I think I deleted the pattern, so they're just white now. Oops. Lots of books, so he can do some reading. Just a very simple little log cabin-y bedroom that he has above the visitor center. I just think it's so cute, and I think it suits him super well. It like looks like he would definitely belong here. Alrighty, on to the next. All right, here we are at our next stop. I would like you to guess what this is supposed to be. So I'll give you maybe like 10 seconds to kind of place your guesses. You could comment them if you want, but just guess what you think that this was supposed to be. I want to see if I did an adequate job. Alrighty. I wanted to make like an Arctic research base. I at this time was seeing, for whatever reason, so many videos on TikTok of people who were like research scientists in Antarctica, and they would kind of show us around their base. And I wanted to make one. So I put our little penguin friend, I think his name is Puck, over on this iceberg. And I set up some tents. I put a space heater, lots of wooden crates and cameras and books and lots of equipment. I wanted it to look like there are some people camped out here and they're researching the Arctic. And I, again, had so much fun with this. This is another very specific theme, but I think it turned out really well. I think that it really looks like an Arctic base, and I just am so happy with it. So let's go inside. Okay, so inside I wanted it to be like the inside of, or the interior of a tent. I can't obviously make his home an actual tent, but I put all those tents outside, so I wanted to decorate the inside of one of them. So there's just a little cot, some place that he's doing some research, a shelf for some tools and materials, and of course a heater because we are on an iceberg. And so that's what I did here, and I just think it turned out so sweet. I really, really love this one. Again, really love the really specific themes. Alrighty, Puck, thanks for letting us stop by. On to the next one. All right, here we are at Rodeo's house. Very sort of different vibe than a lot of my builds. I very rarely build at night or use pretty much any of these furniture items. He wanted a place to do like witchcraft and potions, and so I'm not really sure what I was going for out here, but I wanted it to look kind of mystical and spooky, and I feel like I achieved it. To be honest with you, I don't really know what to say about it because I feel like I just kind of spread some glowy moss items around and some rocks and some wheat field until it all sort of kind of came together. There's a well there, and then there's the pond. I just wanted it to look like you knew that something magical was happening in that building. So let's head inside. Alrighty, and here we are in his potions tower. I'm a big Harry Potter girl, so I kind of took a lot of inspiration from the potions dungeon, I think, where they do potions in Harry Potter, Snape's classroom. So again, I'm using partition walls and then the accent wall of the bookshelf to make it look like there are some sunken in bookshelves there. That's where he does his potions, on that stove, and then over there some glowing moss and a cricket, all of your potion supplies, some plants that he's growing over there, and then his little magic area with the mirror and the cauldron. Very, I don't know, like witch core almost. I just wanted to feel like this is where you would come to do potions. He's the potions master. He's Professor Snape, but make it cute. So that's what I was going here. I think it's so fun. Another one that I had a lot of fun building. So yeah, there is my potions tower. To the next one. And here we are at Poppy's home. You can't really tell from the exterior of this house, but this was a build that I named Cozy Craft Room. You'll kind of see that more inside. I wanted to create a place for someone to do all of their cozy hobbies. I used some colorful flowers, which is pretty rare for me. I don't normally do that. There is a book and some boba tea and a picnic over on the picnic blankets, a cozy little library, a book, just very quaint and very springcore and very sort of cutesy out here. So we'll go inside to the cozy craft room. And here we are. I think this build just turned out so sweet, and I'm actually going to leave Poppy in here because I just think she is so adorable. I love these little cubbies that I have back there, that dresser. I think it's called the vintage dresser. I love using it in spaces where villagers are maybe crafting. I think it looks like a space where you could organize all of your little craft tools, whether it's markers or paint or sewing supplies, whatever it might be. I think it looks like you would store stuff back there. And so there's that. There's her little work desk with some tea. I like to imagine that she made that pillow there. Maybe she created those cross-stitch, designs that are hanging there. A cat tree, because maybe she has a cat. A wax burner to make it smell nice. A cozy bear. I just wanted it to feel like it was just the coziest place, full of sun, to do some crafting. I love this wallpaper with the strawberries. I just think that's so cute and sweet, and I feel like it really went with the theme. So yeah, this is Poppy's craft room. I just think it is the sweetest thing on the planet. I love it so much. And here we are at Daisy's home. This is another very themed build. I saw some pictures on Instagram of a coastal town, and I fell in love with this theme. And so I wanted to create a cafe over by the sea. And so that's kind of what I did here. I gave a place for some people to park some bikes. There's a menu out front, a lighthouse, some spots to eat on the beach with some ducks that are maybe picking on some leftover fries or something. I'm absolutely obsessed with this build. This might be my top favorite build, honestly. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I think it is just so sweet, and I feel like Daisy really fits this theme. I feel like it turned out pretty realistic too. I don't know. It just looks like a place that you would eat on the beach, so I'm really happy with it. Let's head inside. All right, the interior I am not as completely obsessed with as I was with the outside, but I think it still turned out pretty nice. Again, going with the coastal sort of restaurant theme. I did the inside first, and so when I did the outside, I ended up leaning more towards the cafe vibe. Inside, I wanted it to feel like a restaurant where you could come and get like fish and chips and sandwiches and stuff like that. So there's a spot to order with some menus, and then different seating with some very minimal coastal decorations. I feel like I might come back and redo the interior of this one to make it more of a actual cafe with coffee maybe, and also some sandwiches, but not as restaurant inspired and more leaning towards the cafe vibe. But overall, very happy with how this turned out. And here we are at our last stop of the day. This was a build that I did very shortly after I did the last build, so I was still clearly feeling those coastal vibes. This time I wanted to build a marina for my friend Grizzly. I wanted it to be very foggy, so I put it very early in the morning, right before it rains. There are some boats that are parked. I went back and forth with the design of the house for so long. It took me a very long time to kind of end on those colors. I looked up a lot of like coastal buildings, specifically in like the Maine area online, and I kind of landed on this. If you're from that area and you don't think it looks very authentic, I'm sorry. It was a lot harder to come up with than I was expecting. Honestly, that's probably what I spent the most amount of time on, was how the actual house looked. But other than that, very similar vibes to the last one. Some weeds, lots of natural life, some ducks hanging out, the same blue hyacinths, some supplies in the back left of the house. On the inside, I decorated it to be a place where you might come to get any sort of fishing materials. So let's go check that out. Alrighty, and so like I said, I wanted it to feel like this is where you would go if you were staying on a lake and you needed to get some supplies for fishing. So I have a cooler and a gas tank there, some spots for snacks. This cooler back here with the bucket, I wanted it to feel like that's where you would go and get your live bait. I haven't been fishing very many times, but the few times I have with my grandpa, when we would get bait, it was in like a cooler in this tiny little shop. So that's kind of what I was going for. If you need to run some fishing poles, they're there. Any sort of supplies, I wanted it to feel like you could get them here. And so that's what I went for, and I feel like it came out pretty well. I'm not too disappointed in how the interior came out. I went back and forth with the organization of these items. The actual items that I used didn't change around during the process of this, but the way everything is placed really switched around a lot. If I had recorded what that build looked like, it would have just been me moving the same collection of items around over and over and over. And I settled on this, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. These last two coastal builds, I am so in love with that theme, and I don't want to make any promises, but I think that's what I want to do for my next island, very coastal fishing town. And so I'm doing lots of research on Pinterest. I'll document that whole process here on YouTube as well. So if you want to see me do that, then please stay tuned. All right, we are going to end this video here next to Meringue. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. I am definitely planning on filming some actual Happy Home Paradise build videos just because I love doing them so much. I also post any pictures of any new ones that I complete over on my Instagram, so I will have that link down below. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.